we got first?
So we have minutes. Not sure if people had an opportunity to look at.
I did, but I forgot to reply. So
Okay, November 1st, special session. That was
this
in
was
the
the first,
evening,
the,
for local government.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Aye. Yes.
Yes.
This thing. But it's the November 6th.
Well, the date's wrong on top.
At the very top it is. We'll fix that.
Okay, it's November 6th.
Yes,
Let me write it in.
sure, we will, but we do it right now.
Makes me happy.
Okay,
Thank you.
and that's a regular session.
So moved. Second. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
They have to sign twice.
And then this is the one.
November 1.
Correct.
I'll second.
Yes. Aye.
Yes. Okay.
We have Berkshire Local Schools 2023-2024 amendment number 3. They have a net adjustment to the special revenue of $50,625.74. New special revenue fund total $3,640,372.60. Total certificate $30,435,935.45, and appropriations to max.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Yes.
Yes.
Next up is Montville Township. So we had cautioned her to look into where she was putting loan funds for an OPWC. So she wanted to do it in Road and Bridge. So she got the response back. They're decreasing Road and Bridge now and then putting it into the OPWC fund in capital projects.
So now they're servicing the loan out of the OPWC fund,
Correct.
which is where it should.
So new special revenue fund total is $1,733,640.19. New capital project is $140,000. Total certificate is $2,164,266.45, and it is unchanged. Appropriations did not exceed.
So moved. Second. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Somebody's trying to get me the worst way.
Somebody can't get into the meeting here.
Is that
Uh,
what you do?
He's,
No, there's nobody asking to get in.
oh no, what's it red? Adrian's red on.
He accepted.
Nobody's trying to get in. It'll pop up if somebody.
Oh, he's in a call. He's free to let it. Maybe he's in our call.
This is the county certificate. It's amendment number 16. There's there's 2 increases to common pleas and then a new health aging grant as well, right?
Yes.
For a net adjustment into the special revenue of $204,548.32. And then the water district fund, enterprise fund, they're increasing it by $16,267.43. New special revenue fund total is $131,112,141.83. New enterprise fund total is $18,206,131.25. Total certificate $241,246,845.97.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Stuff, I guess, is going through all of the resolution.
Okay, so this, now we're gonna, if you're gonna do that before you start.
Sure.
Jim's busy doing his real work.
I'm paying attention to both things.
Jake,
You
more,
want to be copies?
yeah, there should be several copies, so you can just keep passing them and they can have them for the file. So that, I sent this to you, I emailed this to you on Friday. It basically summarizes where we were as of that moment, which hasn't really changed as of right now.
Correct.
I did change the chart to actually just break it out by category. It's easier to see how many townships participated, how many villages, how many schools. The interesting thing is, as you know, the county completely participated. 87.5% of the townships participated. 67% roughly of the municipalities participated and only 10% of the schools. We're looking at total unvoted tax is about 10 million inside millage, 5 million outside millage because of the 20 mil floor adjustment for Berkshire and SG. We are mitigating over 50% of the inside millage component. I gotta tell you, even though I wish it were 100%, I am very proud of Geauga for stepping up. Especially the townships, the county and the municipalities. I think they all got it. It speaks volumes. And I think what really helped, I've talked to several of my peers at other counties, Butler County in particular, who attempted to do something similar and they got zero response. And it was being all funneled by the auditor. I think the Budget Commission standing united and pushing this made the difference. I don't think an individual by themselves could have accomplished this. So
Have you found any other county?
just Butler attempted.
That's the only one. That's remarkable.
Yes.
Because I would think the total tax impact,
We are a huge anomaly.
it's not surprising.
Well, Senator O'Brien commented to me in a call last week. She said she believed a lot of this had to do with the fact that the Budget Commission in Geauga County is well known throughout the state as being very thorough in their work. And as a result of that, she said, counties who have not stepped up their Budget Commission's role can't do it now. I mean, it's doesn't mean anything to anybody. You know, people know we're going to follow what we believe is right. And I think that's shown.
It's taken years to get to this, but it's taken collaboration between our three offices.
Yeah, so I think there's still going to be some sticker shock in the West G school district and in the Berkshire school district because they're going to see that floor rise 4 mils in each of those two communities, which is a lot of money. But for the most part, I think we've weathered the storm of the inside millage shock.
From my perspective, you should be extremely proud of both what you have done in your office and your office team, and we as the Budget Commission.
I think this was definitely a team effort, Chris. Jim he's gotten the 11th hour calls with approving resolutions, and they've come through. Your office has taken as many complaints as my office. We've gotten the 8 letters. And I totally understand people's emotion. I mean, you blame the messenger when you don't know anything else. But I think at the end of the day, people are understanding and appreciative of our efforts, and that's all we can do.
We've done it extremely well. Is there a way to get a
It's trying to get in.
Send a request.
I'd like to know the exact amount
The dollar amount?
for each entity, those that have applied for
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
a reduction. And
Hi, Adrian, you're on.
from both the millage adjustment and the inside millage adjustment.
Yeah, so now that we've gotten our abstract done, we're going to apply for our DTE, which will give us the tax rates, and then we can actually calculate the dollar amount, the reflective dollar amount of tax savings. So we know the amount that we are predicting, but we don't know the total amount yet until the tax rates are finally determined.
That will be after December 8th, right?
And that's going to be, we'll submit, probably won't have it until the end of the month, end of December.
It depends on how quick we get it to them and how quick they turn it around. Sometimes the state has been within a day or so getting stuff back, just like
With the abstract.
value abstract, it was the next day. Other times it's been a little bit longer.
This doesn't seem like a next day one.
Well, actually, it's interesting. So I did bring a copy of the abstract approval. And I think it's noteworthy. Here's how they approved our abstract this year. Your real property abstract for Geauga County has been approved. Due to the pendency of House Bill 187, we aren't issuing journal entries approving the dollar amounts of values right now. We want to avoid any potential legal challenges that might arise if that entry would go final before the bill became effective. If the bill does pass, any county that wishes to file an amended abstract will be given the opportunity to do so. That worried the crowd. So I made several phone calls. Ron dialed it for dollars. I actually finally got a hold of Senator Dolan on Saturday, and he advised me that 187 is dead in the Senate. So this appears to be a hedge bet by the Tax Commission, Department of Taxation, in case 187 went through, because that was the 3-year average.
Mhm.
So the abstract would have to be modified to reflect a 3-year average.
So,
They looked at worst case.
but because we could put in an adjustment, we could change this too, couldn't
Well,
we?
we would have to.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want that. I mean, that's, I think, the one commitment we made at that one meeting.
Yes, this would have to ripple backward through the
Yeah.
whole system, which I did give them the alert on Friday saying, heads up, we may have to unwind everything if something changes. According to Senator Dolan, and I have no reason to suspect that he wasn't speaking directly to the matter, he said, House Bill 187 is not going to leave the Senate. We're going to work on a different House bill that will modify the homestead exemption. They believe the elderly is the most at risk. That's where they're going to focus because they believe they can get that done. So it's going to be an increase of.
So the homestead will just be for, what is that age?
It's 65 and older, and it's $30,000, 34, and they're going to raise it to 60 with an inflationary curve. So it's going to double the homestead exemption, which will help quite a few people. So it's clear they want to do tax reform, but it's also clear that they're looking at the affected parties, most affected first. I did ask him, how is that going to be paid for? He said, well, the first year is going to be paid for by the state. Every year thereafter, then we will have to see. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing they haven't factored into their budget analysis yet.
Mhm.
So that was really good news because we had, and I conveyed this to him at my conference, which was the week after Chris's. We had auditors that were ready to slit their throats, trying to figure out how to get this done. It would have required us to do a bill in January and then a modified bill in June for the second half tax collection, and then somehow, rationalizing that I don't know how to do that. The question I asked him is, what if somebody sold their house in March? Who gets the lower tax bill? He said, I know, he recognized it
The
was.
taxes are due January 1st.
Right.
That's in the Constitution.
How many resolutions have we gotten resolutions from all these people now?
So that you'll see on the one column is where we stand with resolutions. There are a few. Middlefield Village is still outstanding. There's a couple that are still outstanding. Is that the only one? That's the only one still pending.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the dates. Yeah, so
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
very proud.
very happy for Geauga, I think. Even though it's going to be bittersweet because it's still going to be an effective shock on some people, but it could have been worse.
You two did a great job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And Ryan.
Ron, Pam, you took a lot of phone calls. I know Chris's staff took a ton of phone calls, people questioning and challenging. We did a
People are
lot.
paying tax bills today, and I talked to this very nice older guy. He said, I'd like to pay my tax bill. I said, okay, we don't have a tax bill for you, so we're going to use a WAG. WAG. Yes, the wild ass guess.
You go.
There you go. She seems it's in the minutes again. Good luck with that, Tammy.
Yeah, I mean, again, I really, I think we need to push this out and,
So that was my question.
we need to give credit to these folks. I know the papers have been doing some,
I think
Individual
would the
articles.
budget commission be okay if we sent out letters to every entity who participated, acknowledging their participation and thanking them for considering the taxpayer?
yeah, I think that's.
By all means,
Everybody gets
great idea.
complained to, but they rarely get an attaboy. I think an attaboy would probably be well worth it.
Yes,
So if you guys could, when you get a chance, I'll help you draft it. I can do a dummy draft, and if you could then put it by entity, I think every elected in the entity should get a copy of it.
Okay.
Because it was everybody, not just trustees, but I know fiscals fought for this as well. And they did the work, right? They're the ones that had to figure out how to manipulate the money. So it was a team effort everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be curious what happens with the 20 mil floor. I mean, I'm worried that West Geauga taxes are still gonna go up so much, but on the flip side, you know, how many, what are there, 600 some school districts in the state?
660 and over 2/3 are at the floor.
But they are the only ones in the state of Ohio that,
Gave any money back.
yeah,
That was as of last week.
I mean, you gotta
You
give
gotta
credit where
give them
credit's due.
Even though it's
I'm-
$1 million, they didn't have to do that. I'll take it.
I know that they were under an incredible amount of pressure to not
Not
do
do it.
anything.
Yes, I agree.
That discussion is not done. This is only a 1 year
That's correct.
by the apple. There will be further discussion and further needs.
Believe it or not, there is a taxing authority who is at the floor, who has already indicated they want to put a levy on it spring, which takes my breath away.
Well, I guess I want to see, I mean, I know Ron calculated these, but boy, I just feel like,
I hope we shot high. I'm feeling we're pretty close to the number.
no, I would trust Ron's number. I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of backlash there. So,
Voter backlash.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, without question.
And I don't think that those folks have an appreciation for that. But I think on the flip side, we need to be, I don't know if I like your chart. But I think we need to do a simple, we have spoon feed this to like papers so that they know who participated.
Well, I've
We
been
could take
sending,
a lot of clutter out.
Okay.
yes, I take a lot of these columns.
Yeah.
I have been sending, so you're getting this probably every third or fourth day, you're getting an update of this. There have been people in the press and the League of Women Voters and a few other people who asked to be on that list. And they've gotten this right along. So
Mhm.
I think they've somewhat gotten used to it. You know, don't you think? We haven't gotten any calls saying, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could just do, you know, the name,
Whether they,
participated, yes or no, the windfall amount, and then how much they reduced it by. The dollars they gave back, so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be. Because each at least if they're the ones that went through my office, should have an amount in there.
yes, they do. And those are in the notes column.
Yeah, yeah,
Some of
kind
them.
of.
You know, I was grabbing this as I was seeing them.
No, this is great. I just think, you know, entity participating, yes or no, windfall amount, you know, return to the taxpayer.
But the entities did a really nice job of, turning things around pretty quickly as well, scheduling meetings. So that's why we were just kind of tracking timeline.
Yeah, they were, I mean, I think all of them went through us and they were, they went about as smoothly as anything's ever gone,
Yeah,
from my perspective.
I would agree. We didn't get anybody calling saying, no, we can't figure this out, or
Yeah,
it was very good to get done in time.
well, I just don't think the legislature's gonna do it. I mean, this marijuana thing goes into effect in 3 days and they're talking, I've read in the paper this morning, they're gonna have a meeting this morning talking about changing the law. And so that this
Well,
next 2 weeks is shot with that.
I was at my conference, they made note of the House has passed 14 bills this year. It's the lowest passage of law since 1954. And I believe 4 of the bills they passed were mandatory from budget. So I mean, it just shows you how disconjointed they are.
Yeah.
They can't get.
No, they're extremely dysfunctional.
Is the window still open for these entities to pass a resolution?
If somebody needed a resolution right now, we would, till we file our GTE, we're still open.
But I feel like the ones that have said, they've told us no, really. I mean, right?
Well, the only entity who has actually said no is Golden Village.
I thought Auburn did.
Auburn is doing something. They are not putting a levy on.
Okay,
They're not giving back any money. They're withholding the
Well, they're
levy schedule.
Considering that, I mean, it's hard to,
Well, that's for this,
wouldn't include that in the chart.
that's,
They were gonna put, we did the resolution form for March. So
did they do it through a resolution?
They did.
So they did
We
take
did a
positive action.
DTE 140R for them. And what they were, it would have been more than 254,415, which is what they were currently getting. Because it would have been.
It won't have a result or an impact on the tax bills.
No, it won't have, it'll be a net, not a net additional increase. It's a double
Well,
negative.
but one of theirs is going off.
That's the one they would have put on.
Yeah.
Yes,
They lost a lot.
right. So essentially they kind of stick.
Chardon status,
Chardon School,
no,
Township.
Chardon Township.
no, they, I had a conversation at a Geauga Township meeting with one of their trustees, which he was not leaning that way.
I think their road levy failed. I had heard that they were. I thought they gave them.
Yes, that's what I heard. So I have not heard from Huntsburg or Chardon Township. Those are the two. I mean, we could reach out. Have you heard from anybody from Huntsburg?
But not about this.
Okay, I'll take that.
We won't ask.
There must be a story there and we'll skip it.
We were gonna bring it up, but she brought up something totally different, so we thought that this is what she was calling about, but she wasn't.
Okay. Just, I guess, just so that we don't leave anybody in the weeds, could you guys call Chardon Township and Huntsburg Township and just get them to weigh in? Yes, they're gonna do something. Maybe they're gonna consider it. No, they're not gonna do it. Then they can't say, oh, we just didn't know we were supposed to do something.
Do you want them to call or an email? Then you have a paper trail. You can do both, but
You can do both.
for sure do an
Well,
email.
we can send an email and then just do a follow-up phone call.
And then we want to reach out to Honey Valley or do we, it's not.
How much was it? It's not,
I didn't put it on there.
They're there.
probably more than a well.
Do you remember how much Honey Valley money was? $3,000 or something. It was, I mean, it wasn't, it's more than Aquila and less than Russell, I guess, somewhere in that window.
That's
I mean,
I think we need to treat everybody alike.
Yeah.
Do the same thing.
now we have not reached out, other than through letter, the other local school districts that are outside of of Geauga, you know, the Mentor, Riverside, those school districts. We did send them letters though, right? Letters went out to everybody.
I don't think so, that.
No, we did
I
not.
do not
You
think so.
I think we did send it to Chagrin.
Yeah, we did. We got a call from Chagrin.
We might have sent to Chagrin, but not Kirtland, Madison.
I do not recall sending a letter to them.
Okay, so the other ones are all under $3,000.
No.
There's a 5,000.
Under $7,300.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
I think we need to treat everybody alike,
Okay,
regardless of the amount of money.
Well, maybe just email me or something.
Well, I think part of the issue too is we're not the home.
here's what Chardon, when I'm Chardon had a meeting.
Yeah, they don't send us a
Not sure.
budget.
Chagrin Falls had a meeting. And they've indicated it would be unlawful for them because they can't credit a part of the district. They can't suppress levy collection for only people living in Geauga County.
Oh, to the point.
They would have to suppress it for everybody in their district. And they're not getting the windfall from everyone in their district. So their argument was the mitigation would be so small that the effect to the residents of Geauga would be insignificant and not worth the paper. Next year, I believe, is their Lee Valley, Cuyahoga.
Gonna make a
And
prediction.
I bet you they won't do anything then either.
No.
You look like Karnak. Answer is no. What will the school do next year? See, so that was the official response back from Chagrin Falls. Chardon did issue this information over the weekend about property tax valuation. And they basically, reiterated our documents. But one note that I think was kind of interesting is they are attributing a significant increase in their one-time expenditures this year to, the advice of the Budget Commission to spend their money. I mean, they went from spending an average of around 2% of their money to 14% of their money. But I guess I don't understand those percentages. What's 100%?
Well, we did tell them to
Spend.
I mean, we did say that.
You're
I
right.
mean, I was,
We also, though, I mean,
I was-
if they're following the advice of the Budget Commission also advised them to consider giving back their windfall. It's kind of a cherry picking. Well,
I mean, I told them their cash balances were too high, and you would have thought, I mean, all they did was, beat up on me for 3 weeks in the paper. But apparently I was right. I don't know if they're gonna write a letter saying, boy, Jim was right.
they will hold the paper up and say,
Yeah.
Jim was right.
Wait, should I treat this as an apology letter or just wait for one?
I'd wait for one,
Okay.
but don't wait too long. I think we're gonna have an opportunity to test their numbers come February, March, when they submit their budgets for the next year. And we'll have to do our homework on
Listen, and again, I haven't seen their budget next year, but if they eliminated most student fees and gave, so those parents that have to pay $560,000, good. You have 30 million. Good. I'm very happy about that. Right. And then I read in the paper,
They bought some
they
property.
bought some property. I think they're building a new bus garage over there on Washington Street. Now they sold some property. They got
More money than.
900,000 for that.
Right.
But I think they paid more than $1 million for the Washington Street property. And then they've got a plan to do some infrastructure over there. Again, you're not asking for tax money and you're, taking care of your infrastructure needs, and they're doing some central campus plan. Good. That's good stuff. I mean, again, I'm not judging how they spend the money, but
That they spent it.
yeah, exactly.
Was this a response to?
No, this was a mailing, went out to everybody in the district, correct? An email newsletter?
Email received by, not sure who.
They have a lot of list servers that they send out information.
That's fine. We'll have a nice conversation with them in the new year.
I'm encouraged.
Okay, do you want to run through how do you want to do these?
Yeah, we've done pretty well.
Yeah, do you want to do these individually? Do you want to do them as a group? What does the board want to do?
I think it best we do these individually.
Okay, want to do the first one?
Did we do the commissioners already?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Bainbridge has 2 resolutions. They did a shift of inside millage and I don't have what the dollar for shift or the millage shift is.
It went from 1.3, shift.
General fund inside millage went
From
from
1.3 to 1.52, so we pulled some inside millage into the general fund from road.
road went from 1.7 to 1.48.
And we did that because there's gonna be a windfall in the inside millage fund, and they're funding that increase through the increase of inside millage going into road. So they had to compensate for that by moving it into the general fund.
And then you have the resolution to reduce is for $424,576.95. It's at the bottom and it's in the first page down towards the bottom in bold.
Yes. Good.
Wow, that's great. Okay, who's the motion?
I believe I think I'm last. Didn't Chris went last? I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Aye.
Yes.
Burton Township.
This is a reduction of $41,626.
Burton Township is?
What it says.
Okay,
We're reducing a road levy by 0.49 mils.
right, and that does not come with, a shift of inside knowledge.
They didn't need, okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
This next one is, this is Chester.
Okay, so Chester, did a resolution to suppress 0.5 police levy. And I think it's,
What that was all about. Yes.
Just have a value in that.
There you go.
I believe
It's
it's,
fun.
Sorry, yes, I can read this. Okay, so this is a reducing collection
suppressed.
of suppressing collection of a 0.5 mil tax levy for police and EMS, and this will serve as a reduction of $207,599.48.
Second,
Yes,
yes.
Claritin's and,
They've got a number of them going on.
well, it's all in one now because, the recommendation from prosecutor's office was to rescind that first one.
Okay.
So this is reducing it by $122,086 in the, it's a fire levy. And they are also not doing shit.
I wanted to note with Chester, they actually reduced their levy reduction is more dollars than the windfall.
Oh, more than 100%.
Yes, they went over 100%.
Chester,
Yes.
my reading of this says their windfall is $384,000.
Yeah, how much was that?
200.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
more.
No, it's about 50%
No, it was first I heard. It.
Oh.
So,
I thought they
Middlefield
maybe they
Village.
were doing like 400,000.
Middlefield Village, and was the one that was over 100% the last.
Well, that's their.
That's their proposal.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I was wrong. So we're back to Clarendon.
Clarendon is reducing theirs by $122,000, but their windfall was only $65,000.
Right.
Right,
They had already planned on reducing their fire, and then added to it.
Okay,
That
So-
explains part of it.
Yeah, they have a contract
Mhm.
and then they
Yeah,
always are reducing. They're reducing every year instead of letting it accumulate. I mean, they've been wonderful.
It's my turn.
yes.
So moved.
Second, yes.
aye.
Sorry.
That's-
Next one is Camden Township.
So they're doing a reduction of 79,615.01, is that it?
Yeah. 79,615.01.
Or it's how much?
Oh.
Wait, what's this?
Yeah, they're reducing fire levy,
2.5 million.
yeah, to 1.92 mils. And they are shifting, reallocating inside millage. They currently allocate 1.3 mils to the general fund and 1.7 mils to the road and bridge fund, but for next year, they are seeking to change their inside millage for 1 year only to 1.57 to the general fund and 1.43 to the road and bridge fund. So I'll move to approve both of those.
Second,
Yes.
Middlefield Township, they're reducing their ambulance levy 29,942.
This is 1.6 mils to 1.23 mils.
so according to this chart, the windfall is $61,000 and they're reducing the ambulance fund by $30,000.
Roughly, yes.
It's my turn. Or it's
No.
Chris's turn. I'll second.
Yes.
Montville Township up next. And, they're reducing by 53,290.53 cents.
So it's a 1.5 mil road and bridge levy. They're reducing it to 0.53 mils for 2024 only.
And they're not doing the shift.
No shift. I'll move to approve.
Second, yes.
Yes.
Johnson Township, they have a shift of inside millage as well as a reduction And their reduction is 199,943. I think it's a fire levy.
It is, it's they're reducing the collection of the 1.95 mil fire and EMS levy by 0.72 mils down to 1.23 mils. And they are moving inside millage. Yes, they're moving there was 2 mils to the general fund, 1 mil to road and bridge. They're now moving all 3 mils to general fund. I'll move to approve those.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
That's Newberry Township.
They are reducing a 5.5 mil fire and EMS levy to 4.85 mils. The total amount is
128,623. I don't know if she put it in. This is one
Yeah,
that we did.
Oh, she didn't use the press me.
No, she didn't.
I'm pleased to see this.
She didn't put the amount in. Do you have the estimated amount?
Mhm.
Is it on my sheet?
Well, it's on, I wrote it on mine, $128,623.
It's your motion.
So it is on your sheet.
I'll second.
yes.
Yes. I wish she could use the.
We sent it to
This, I'm sorry, this is Joyce Peters.
Hartman.
Mhm.
This
This one shocks me.
Yeah, and again, I think there were folks that could afford to do this, and then there were other folks who, had very tight budgets and still did it. So they're number one on there.
Speaks volumes for them.
So they're reducing a 2 mil road and bridge levy to 1.48 mils.
Not doing a shift of inside knowledge. And the total is $40,006.
I'll move.
Second, yes.
Yes. One is Russell Township.
This is a 1.4 mil road and bridge levy to 0.51 mil. The total amount is $244,053.09.
No shift because they already have everything in general.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
All voted. All no. I was gonna say.
One voted no.
One voted no.
You can.
Does he still get a thank you letter from us?
This one's Thompson Township. Mhm. So this is a 2.35 mil road and bridge levy. They're reducing it to 1.62 mils for 2024 only, totaling $45,928.49.
So moved.
Second,
Yes.
yes. It doesn't go with it, right?
Who is that?
This is Troy.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Okay,
She's incredible. Yep, this is reducing their 2.9 mil fire and EMS levy to 2.26 mils for 2024 only. The total amount, did they also use $44,876.50.
so moved.
Second, yes.
Yes.
This starts villages and.
Yeah. Oh, you did in our order.
Yes.
Thank you. This is the village, Burton Village. This is a 2 mil police levy being reduced to 1.64 mils for 2024.
The total amount is $11,847.93. It's mine. So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
City of Chardon.
City of Chardon is reduced the 2 mil fire and emergency medical services levy to 1.5 mils for 2024 only. That is a total reduction amount of $86,848.41.
So moved.
Second,
Yes.
yes. South Russell Village is reducing collection of their 1.5 mil road and bridge levy to 0.5 mils for 2024. It's resulting in a reduction of $162,782.35. Also moved.
I'll second. I did want to bring up a point about this. So, you'll see, originally this was introduced as an emergency. So for a a statutory municipality, which South Russell is, if you want to declare an emergency for an ordinance, you need 5 of the 6 council members for a village to vote yes. So my understanding was there's 2 council members opposed,
Correct.
and I believe you also need 3 readings, and you need 5 council members to waive readings. So they had a meeting. 4 of the council members voted to waive the readings, 2 voted no.
And they declared an emergency.
No.
Which they can't do.
Well, it was as an emergency originally, but when they didn't waive readings, it had to go to a 3rd reading. They then held a special meeting 2 days later and did the 3rd reading. One of the no votes was absent, the other voted no, so they passed with 4. So Danielle did call me, and I told her, I said, listen, you're gonna have to ask your solicitor on your end. I said, but from the budget commission's point of view, or at least my point of view, and I wanted to discuss this, the 2 of you, I said, as long as you pass it and the 30 days, it'll take effect before January 1st. I felt comfortable with us adopting it.
Okay, so I know.
The
Declaring
scratch,
emergency is scratched out.
that means it doesn't take effect immediately. So unlike all these resolutions, when the township trustees vote for a resolution,
It's effective the moment they.
yeah, with the village, they need 5 people to have an emergency measure. Because technically,
Who prepared this document?
First,
Their solicitor?
yes, I mean, they asked for our form, so if you see, unlike Newberry, Burton and South Russell used our form.
Right.
Which, and I always share it whenever we do stuff like this. I always share it with the solicitors, because I figure I'm saving taxpayer dollars, right? I'm going to save the people of Burton Village, $150 by,
Right.
That's good.
preparing it. So they used our form with the emergency clause. I just don't know where your comfort level is. The only thing with an emergency clause,
Can be rescinded within that 30 days.
no, it's subject to, I'm not worried about it being rescinded. It's subject to a referendum petition. So there's a statutory procedure with municipalities where, technically, if you got a bunch of signatures on a petition, the taxpayers can, I highly doubt they're gonna wage a battle to.
Well, one of the council members said 95% of the people that he surveyed said they were not worried about their taxes. Which he's one that voted no, one of the ones that voted no, which I find. Mathematically, I don't agree with it. I just, because if that's the case, the calls I'm getting, the predominant number of calls I'm getting and letters are from South Russell.
Yeah, I
They're
would.
the heaviest.
I would tell you on my street, for example, our property values went up over
Over 40%. I
and
just got a letter that Pam and I reviewed, and he's from South Russell. That's,
yeah,
they're getting the highest percentage increase. So either somebody's tone deaf or they're only surveying people that they know the answer to.
yeah. Again, I've had a lot of people approach because I'm president of my HOA, like I need that headache. So the people in the neighborhood have been pinging me about this, not because I'm the prosecutor, but because I'm the president.
They're complaining about their values.
Yeah, to the president of the HOA, which I can do nothing. So, I've told them, hey, there's things you can do, blah, blah, blah. And, but I don't know about this 95% thing. I know I've had a lot of people approach me, especially the people on fixed income. We have a fair amount of retired people in my neighborhood, and they're.
Well, even
That's
if you're not on
huge.
fixed income, it's an increase in your costs.
Yeah.
I think we would be remiss in not accepting that nobody wants to go to the gas pump and pay twice as much. Why would this be any different?
So I guess the only danger in us accepting this is it technically doesn't take effect for 30 days. My position was it takes effect before January 1st. I think we could do it now. I think if they hadn't passed it before the end of November, we might have had a different problem. So I would have been,
The tax liability is January 1st.
yeah, I would have been more concerned.
We're good.
Yeah.
So it's your turn, I believe, Jim.
Is it mine? Go ahead, you did,
Oh, did
and
I?
I seconded,
Okay.
we discussed, so,
Okay,
all in favor?
yes.
Yes.
West.
I mean, despite, let's just remove from the equation unencumbered cash balance, 20-0 floor. I think credit needs to go to West G for being a pioneer and taking a huge risk with peer pressure, what it is with the school systems. They are voluntarily suppressing $1 million of their emergency levy, which I for the taxpayers of that district, I appreciate their doing.
And they unanimously passed it too.
Yes.
That is,
Remarkable.
it is, it really is.
Only
So-
because of Auditor Walter's efforts.
No, I think I met with two of their school board members, and
Had you not, this would not have happened.
maybe, but I think they were open to it, which is the first. You can't force feed an elephant, right? I mean, you can't push a rope, all those things. They were willing to consider their options, and they took advantage of that, which.
You did 95% of this. The education component, I think, was huge. I mean,
Well, I think we're gonna get going, because you can never educate enough on this issue, because it's complicated. And people are gonna rightfully be upset when they see this floor shift, and they're gonna get hit with this additional tax. They're gonna be upset.
Yeah.
And although we can point to meetings we've had where we've introduced it and we've talked about it, I'm prepared for that, and that comes with the territory, and it is what it is. But I
think educating to the elected officials. I mean, I don't think
don't think some of the school board members understood it.
I'm always surprised. I mean, again, school funding, I don't completely understand. I learned a lot through this process about school funding because it's so complicated. And I think that's part of the problem, is that it's not as straightforward as what we're normally dealing with. But I'm not sure, and I'm not being specific, but to this board, but I just don't think a lot of school board members have as good a grip on their financing as we do, which is, and I don't think we have the best grip on it either. No. So, I don't know that they're even at our level of understanding. And so I give them, I think that education component by you, I think you opened people's eyes, and I think it was important, important that you did that. So
I'm glad. I hope the West G people who do experience an increase in the floor are at least consider the fact that they didn't have to give $1 million back, and they did. I just leave it at that, and I think it speaks volumes for they are at least considering some of the message that taxpayers are learning.
Mhm. Okay, make a move to approve. Okay. Yes. That's it.
And thank you guys for cranking these out. I know I bugged you about every third day for an update.
Yep.
You roll your eyes when I walk over, but I appreciate it.
It's excellent.
As I have previously expressed, this work is the most important we've done in years that I've been here. That the board has collaborated and the team has made all of this possible. The taxpayers are being extremely well served. It's a rarity, and unfortunately, other counties are not yet realizing what opportunities were down the road.
So I will get a more accurate amount as we get closer to the end of the year of how much mitigation is occurring. It's over 5 million now of the 10 million inside mills. It is 0 of the 20 mil floor increase, but we focus primarily on the inside mill equations. I think that speaks volumes for the effort. I think your estimate originally, Chris, was 30%. It was a number you threw out when we first introduced this. We get 30 success rate.
Yeah,
So we've beaten that, which is
we
huge.
crushed it.
That's a good sign,
We're at over 50%
right?
in terms of money and population served. That is very good news.
14 of the 16 townships.
That's incredible.
That's really incredible.
Can you remind me what the Auburn Township?
Dollar amount was
Yeah,
Well, And this is not how much I didn't
This
take
is-
from the 140R for
That's right.
March. But what, at 100%, if it would have been renewed, it would have been $254,415.
That's almost 100%.
It would have been higher though if they put it on the back.
Because we had been advocating, 80, 90%.
Correct.
It's a home run. Okay,
Is there any other business? Or can we open it for? I know some people got in late, but are there any questions from people that are online? You'll have to unmute if you do. And Sarah, we'll send you the documents as usual.
Yeah, that would be great because I actually just was able to join in the last like minute or two. I don't know what the issue was this morning, but I would appreciate anything you can send me.
Yeah, we basically approved all of the mitigation, a reduction of revenue collection for inside millage offset that the
Okay.
townships, villages, city, county and school districts have submitted.
Piece by piece.
Okay, and I think I just heard you say that there's been nothing for the 20 mil floor stuff. Is that correct?
There's been no mitigation offered for the 20 mil floor for, that's only two school districts, Berkshire
Right.
and Misty.
So that additional tax burden, that will only affect residents of those two districts, right?
You're correct.
Okay.
Yep. And it's
Thank you.
approximately the same amount for both, about 4 mills.
Okay,
Well, same
Same
amount of
same
millage.
village amount.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
dollar.
Yeah,
A
but-
million less.
A million less G's for-
yeah. You're right.
That's a good point, Jim.
can you quickly remind me what the rest of the calendar for this year looks like?
So Sarah, did you have anything or we'll just send you everything, but
The only other thing I was speaking of calendar, is there a schedule for like 2024 as far as meetings? Does that exist yet?
Well, our annual meeting's in August when we set the meetings, so
Okay,
they're still gonna be the first and third Mondays, right?
So you probably want a meeting before the
Sure.
end of the year, just in case, right? I mean, we're gonna want to do that.
Wait a second, so we've got the 18th a regular meeting. Do you wanna get rid of that or still have it?
You think that'll work?
Could probably get rid of
It's 2 weeks.
Well, there may be
county.
just overall accounting wise, there may be deappropriations, decertifications, certifications.
After that,
Well, it'll be
especially-
now through kind of the end of the
Yeah.
year, and so
We
I hate to
should leave the
cancel a meeting if we
18th
can get some
and also
stuff
have
done
something
sooner than
27th.
later.
okay, so
Which will
let's
need something towards the end.
leave,
Really?
Too.
let's leave the 18th.
We always had one last week.
Well, I know we always have one, and then don't we have to have one like January 2nd or something, or 3rd?
Well, my concern is, what do you want to do if Middlefield Village turns in their resolution? Don't we need to have that?
Well,
So that's why I'm
the
saying,
18th
right,
schedule
I think-
first. So let's leave
That
it.
happened.
We can leave the 18th on the books.
Okay, you want, yeah, I mean, I'm
I mean,
here.
if we don't have any, if we have no
Yeah.
work, we can cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about one between the holidays, between like the 27th or 28th? Is that possible? Is
I mean,
anybody?
we typically usually do one.
Is the 27th late enough?
We'll have to push and make it work.
No.
Would you rather
Would
do
you
the
rather
28th? Or 29th? I mean,
I'm getting a nod from, yes.
you rather do it
I
later?
think we did.
Later is the better.
Yeah,
Okay, so you'd rather do the 28th or 29th? Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah.
What's everybody doing at the last second here?
Well, we're winding down the county's finances.
Right,
Shut down.
they're trying now to do some adjustments, with the deappropriations and all that stuff, just to make sure that,
Mhm.
they have the right amount of money.
Let's schedule it for either the 28th or early in the morning on the 29th, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think you.
Some people may close their offices early on the 29th, so we don't want to go too late in that day.
Yes, agreed.
But either the 20th or 29th is okay with me. You have a preference? Probably the 28th, I guess.
No, I mean, I'll
We could do the afternoon at the
You have grand jury at
28th.
20th?
not unless there's a catastrophe.
So I won't wish for that, is that what you're?
Yeah. I mean, I could,
I think the 28th would be better because the 29th is when we would be doing our closing procedures.
Right.
Okay, so let's do the 28th.
You wanna do it
Yeah.
at what time?
Well, the normal time,
10?
10.
Is that okay, or do you want it later in the afternoon?
You'll send out a,
Schedule one for the first week of January.
yeah, if you, well,
Well, we're gonna cancel the 1st. And we gotta cancel the 15th. 1st and 15th is Martin Luther King Day. So we're gonna be canceling the 1st and the 15th anyway,
you want to move it to the 8th, but between the two?
but we still have to have something.
We can spend money until we have a meeting.
Well, technically they can, because you do approve their original certificate. They do have cash.
It's at the county, that they,
But you have to approve their appropriation.
yeah, no, we have to.
So they could spend it.
Appropriations are, it's set.
Oh.
General one automatic.
What
Yeah,
did
we
we
did
think
that.
about last year?
No, because New World doesn't come up, so that's what,
Well,
that was water resources.
Was somebody else?
but whatever we do for them or the first week, we try to get everybody that's on New World and we try to update all of their
Well,
taxes.
why don't we do like January 3rd then?
Okay.
Okay. 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., January 3rd.
Did you decide on the 28th?
Yeah, yes, the 28th at 10 a.m. Okay. And then if you have to,
Send those
if
invites out.
we have to cancel any of those, we will, but.
We're gonna keep our regular
We
meeting.
can keep our regular.
I'm gonna cancel the 1st and the 15th.
Yes.
I talked to some of my peers. They said there are 2 budget commission meetings a year. How do they do that?
Because they don't do this. They don't do the.
How do you
that's supposed to require.
Yeah, but they have to.
Yeah, the appropriations stuff.
Yeah.
Their surrogates just send an email saying approved.
Oh,
Done.
zero meeting. No public weigh-in?
No.
There's certain, but you mean like the
They don't-
staff sends an email and just approves it? Wow.
Because you delegate your chief deputy, done. They don't want to be,
Well, yeah, that's an illegal meeting.
Because every time I have a budget commission.
who's that
meeting,
nice lady that works at the ethics commission?
Susan Wilkie.
Yeah. I would love for her to weigh in on this. We do what we are required by the Ohio Revised Code and the Constitution. Not many others. Okay,
Okay.
already did this the order?
Yeah, anybody else? No other questions? Any questions here?
No questions, just a comment.
Sure.
Just to reiterate that I am impressed with this board in the county and with all of these entities who have come forward. And I think that this board has already presented a very a face of integrity by looking at cash balances of the taxing entities. I know that happens here. It does not happen in other counties, to my knowledge. So I would like to just say that whatever this board, the press, and the informed citizen can do to fan the flames of integrity across Ohio and into the other 87 counties. I believe we have started something here. This board has started something here. The cooperation in the county is, well, I have some disappointment because I'm a resident of Chardon Township and the Chardon School Board. But I may stop by at Chardon Township's meeting this week and just read these statistics, just very kindly, of course. But really, this is extraordinary. So just a thank you and that comment. And it's just nice to comment and listen. Part of the discussion.
Thank you.
See you
Is
next
that
year.
Kathy Johnson talking, excuse me? Is that Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Kathy Johnson, yes.
Okay, she's not on camera. I just thought I recognized her voice.
Sarah, you can quote her word for word in real big letters.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of it.
And thank you if the press would put forward that idea as well, that this is extraordinary. Thank you, Sarah.
Well, it's interesting. The press, there's nobody from the press on, but
Right.
but the League of Women Voters, I mean, we've not talked about this before. You know, League of Women Voters has done a phenomenal job in the last 2 to 3 years, I would say, in raising the awareness to the general public of how government works. And even though they're not a reporting agency per se, like a newspaper, you know,
Yeah.
their analysis and their summary of our meetings is used by the press to the point where the press doesn't even show up. They just read the Legal Women Voters perspective. And while I don't know that that's really the right way of doing it, I think they earn a lot of the credit of why transparency gets better when you have more eyes on it, right? I mean, if more people are attending these meetings, you tend to do better work. So that's just my view. I like them being on. Some people hate them. When they walk in, they go, oh, it's, you know, they're,
Yeah,
what's there to hide? Let's just get to work done.
And it's interesting, after last week's budget commission hearing with the school boards, you would have thought there would have been more interest from the schools to consider suppressing something.
That's what I was hoping for. I don't want to speak, I don't want to deflate what WestG did by commenting in general about schools. I think that it will serve its purpose out as the taxpayers become more knowledgeable when the tax bills arrive and they analyze this. This is all public record. And the voters are the ones that have to drive this equation. We can't drive all of it.
We have never had a better attended hearing in my history. They were all here.
yeah, but why? They were all there with their lawyer.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, they're entitled to legal representation.
I understand. I'm just,
I don't want to shoot them for something they haven't done. I'd rather encourage them to do something.
yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I think we have another opportunity coming in a couple of months.
and I look forward to that. Okay, there being no further business,
Okay, good.
motion to adjourn. Thank you all.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.